Hey everybody, it's another episode of Talks with Heavenly. So last week we had talked about, what was like obviously my biggest, success in life. And we talked about all of that stuff and I gave you guys like a bunch of stuff to go through and everything. Well, however, this time around you guys voted, and make sure to check out the polls up there in the corner to take a vote on the next topic of Talks with Heavenly so I can answer that question for you guys as well. So this week what we are going to go through is, do I believe in second chances? Well, it depends. Are we talking about an ex? Are we talking about a friend? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what kind of second chance are we talking about? So I'm going to go through two of those things. I'm going to go through exes, and then I'm going to go through friendships. Let's go ahead and start with exes. As far as second chances with exes, I would usually say no. No. That was really low. I honestly, the reason why I say no to second chances whenever it comes to exes is it depends on what they do. Did they cheat? Did they lie? Did they steal? Did they use you? If it was using or cheating, I would say no second chances. If it was lying to you, I would say it would depend on what they lied about. If it was something to save me from getting hurt, I can understand, but I would rather be told, because it would hurt more to find out that they lied to you about something and to figure out later. Now, if they lied to you about something, like if they were ready to propose to you or something and they lied to you about, we're not going to the restaurant, we're going to this restaurant, instead we're actually going to go to this restaurant because your entire family's there hiding, then that I can understand. But as far as cheating, stealing, or using, I'm sorry, but I do not believe in second chances for that stuff. If somebody is willing to do it the first time, they'll probably do it again. And if they haven't ever done it again, well, then they really made a big effort to change, because anybody's capable of changing. However, I just don't think second chances for stuff like that, for me personally, I don't go for. Now, as far as friendships go, it's still pretty much the same thing. It's just a little bit different because it's not really, to me, friendships aren't really a matter of the heart. So, although you can definitely be in love with your friends and love your friends just as much as anybody else because they're friends and they've been there for you or been there with you through a lot of stuff, depending on how long you've been friends. But for me, whenever it comes down to being friends with somebody, it really just depends. Like, if the person has abused our friendship or thrown me to the side because they found somebody else that was better, then I would be like, no, because I am who I am, and if you don't like that, then I'm sorry, I can't sit here and justify being friends with somebody that's willing to throw me aside for somebody else that they believe that has better qualities. That's just the way that I see it. Now, as far as second chances, whenever it comes down to somebody business-wise, if I'm working with an employee and an employee does something, do I believe in second chances? Yeah, I would give that person a second chance, because I would have to take into account it's a job, and I don't want to have to put them through the stress of being no paycheck or anything. That I can understand. But I mean, after a while, if the same thing happens over and over again, I would be like, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not. It's not happening no more. But as far as second chances go, I think whenever it comes to friends and relationships, there's different things. And honestly, I feel like that's a really hard question to answer, because it really just depends on the subject and what happens. As far as an example goes, I once dated this guy that was very violent, and it was pretty much kind of like a domestic relationship. And I gave him so many chances, and that was because I really did care about him, and I really did love him. And eventually it just got to the point where I was just done. I couldn't do it no more. And when I told him I couldn't do it anymore, he begged me and begged me and begged me to give him another chance. And when I refused, things got worse, or he would beg me and say that he would change. And then of course I would believe him, and then things would never change. So I was just like, I'm done. And then whenever it comes down to friendships, example, you know, I once had this friend that we had done everything together. We traveled, we did everything. And right now, I'm pretty much, and this person, we both have faults at doing things that we both should not have done in our friendship. And right now where I'm standing is I'm kind of like on my second to half chance, basically, because there was just a lot of things that I really did not appreciate, and a lot of things that had happened. And I'm the kind of person that if something bad happens, I kind of like fade away, because I have to gather my thoughts and like relax and figure out what I'm going to say to somebody. And so that's pretty much how I feel about those kind of circumstances. But most of the time, I mean, I am a very forgive and forget type person. Like, I will look at you and be like, you know what? I forgive you, and I've already forgotten what's already happened. So it's, you know, obviously I don't care anymore about whatever did happen, and I'll move past it. But that doesn't mean that I will necessarily ever forget, you know, like I'll always still remember a little bit of it, but I mean, after a while I forget. But then if it ever happens again, then I'll remember that that's what happened before, and that's when I have to really sit and think to myself, is this really worth giving another chance? Because do I really want to put myself in a circumstance where I really want to be in that situation? You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much where I'm at whenever it comes down with that example. But otherwise, that's pretty much how I feel about second chances.
Alert from iMovie. Share successful.
And apparently my computer needed to talk. That's like the third time you've done that to me in a video. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about second chances. So yeah, anyways, make sure to check out the polls up there and take a vote on the next question, so that way we can sit down and discover what we're going to talk about next. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.